And welcome to Screen Babble. Screen Babble is your must-listen-to podcast where we'll take you through the best in TV. On today's episode, alongside chatting about what we've been watching, we're looking at whether it's worth subscribing to a streaming service for one show. And Zeitgeist TV, what shows are tapping into the public psyche and making us all confront ourselves. I'm your host, Kelly Crichton, and I'm joined by TV critic Matt Mohan-Hickson. Matt, here to tell us what's hot and what's not as ever. Hi Matt, how's it going?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. We were just saying, weren't we? How is it June? How is this?
I know.
Yeah, well, how is this happening?
And also, in a way, I know. And in a way, it's like, this should be the worst time for TV. And I literally said to my husband last night, there's so much new TV.
Yeah.
Like, I can't keep up. I don't have enough time. The thing is, I think when the weather's a little bit better, you tend to be outside more and you get behind in your TV viewing.
Yeah.
So anyway, that still means we've got a dearth of TV to watch in the less sunny evenings. So so anyway, let's get going. What have you been watching recently, Matt? Tell me.
Well, I went on a bit of a nostalgia kick recently and started rewatching The Middle since it came to Netflix, which is, I guess, like, it's kind of like, it's not a spiritual follow-up to Malcolm in the Middle, but it's in that sort of similar vein of like a working class American family and their lives are chaotic. And
remind us again, it's a sort of a spin-off, isn't it?
It's a completely different show. It's just that it takes place in middle America, so that's why it's The Middle. So I mean, okay. Also, like, I think they wanted it to, like, people be like, oh, Malcolm in the Middle, I like Malcolm in the Middle, I'll watch The Middle, but
sort of association,
Yeah, it's not like Big Bang Theory where there's about 15 different spin-offs of that now. But I watched it with my family, at least the first few seasons, with my family when it was on TV in the UK for the first time in the late 2000s. Yeah, because it's mentions of 2008 and the economic crash in it, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, oh wow, this show
Take us back.
This show started like 2 years ago. Oh no, it's like 18 years ago.
Oh my God, that gives me anxiety.
So it's really charming.
Things are bad when you're looking for comfort in that era. Right.
So it's fun. Like, if you're looking for a nice sitcom, and there's like 9 seasons of it, so there's that.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
So, like, if you just want some nice background telly, like, that you don't have to think too hard on, that's really good. And then something we'll talk about later, that I will mention later, is the thing I've been most excited about watching, but I've resubscribed to Apple TV. Spoilers for later in the podcast, I guess. But I really enjoyed Your Friends and Neighbours, which is John Hamm from Mad Men. It's sort of like, he's a really rich guy who loses his job and kind of breaks bad, but he's not like dealing meth or anything. He's like stealing super valuable stuff from his, like, friends and neighbours who are all like really rich people in like sort of one of those exclusive communities in like New York State, New York City.
That's interesting. I don't think we've heard that story before.
It's quite fun. Like, it's I was worried there was going to be like, these shows are often the same, aren't they? They're sort of like Breaking Bad, but just diluted. But it's got its own different vibe. Like, it's low stakes, but also dramatic, and
you're into it anyway.
It's fun. And also Criminal Record with Peter Capaldi, and that's really good. That's like a British, it's on Apple TV, but it's like a British crime series. He's like a definitely dodgy cop that and Jumbo Crush is in it, and she's sort of his nemesis in the police that's trying to get him for being definitely dodgy.
Crooked.
But he's really good. He's got really good conviction rate because he's definitely dodgy. Like,
so Peter Capaldi's the bad cop.
He's fantastic in it. I mean, Peter Capaldi
sounds like a role he'd fit into. Yeah, absolutely.
Really fun.
Is there as much swearing as Malcolm Tucker?
No, but I think that it'd be impossible to get more Malcolm Tucker.
Oh my God, you've got loads of new stuff. Well done. Well done on you. I watched some new stuff as well. Well, kind of. first up to say, because I was waxing lyrical about this on the last episode of Screen Babble, the Race Across the World did not disappoint. So if anybody is looking for something to get into that they missed this year, I would say Race Across the World. It's just a great travel log. And it also has the sort of human side to it where we learn the stories of the people who are participating. And I just loved it. It was great. Did not disappoint. I just finished The Cage, which was Michael Soka and Sheridan Smith. Two brilliant actors. It was a funny one. It was up and down. I kind of didn't like the first episode, and then I really picked up, and then for the middle two, and then the final episode, or was there 5 episodes? It was 4 or 5. Yeah. The final episode was not what I was expecting, but actually kind of brought the whole thing together really well. But it was interesting, right? In the first episode, I was saying to my husband, what is going on here? What year is it? Yeah. Because there was like, you know, it seemed to be modern day, you know, phones and things were very modern day, right? But then there was certain elements of it that were like, it could have been the 90s, could have been the noughties, right? You know, big, huge computers on certain people's desks.
Yeah.
And some clothes was very 90s in it, and some of the cars were very 90s. And it was this weird, like, this is so strange. And we kind of, it actually, you figure out what it is in the end. And it was a really clever ploy that I've never seen anywhere else before. Nice. And you figure out why it is that way at the end. And it's not like mystical or magical or anything. It's just a thing. It's just a moment in time thing. But I have to say, if you like a bit of British drama, I would go for it. It also seems to be sort of set up for a series too, even though definitely a story in itself. But it's basically about 2 kind of hapless people working in a casino, and both of them are stealing from the casino separately. And then they find out that the other one's stealing, and then cue sort of a series of, you know, unfortunate events or whatever. And I kind of hate those programs. I've said this before. I hate those programs where, you know, somebody just cannot like step outside the room for a second and say, this is all a misunderstanding, and correct the thing, and then it's fine. You know, they just keep rolling with the, why can't anybody just sort this out? Sort of, So, but Michael Soka, he's so compelling. You just want to keep watching him. He's got the saddest face in the world when he wants to. And he just has that for most of this program, most of it. Oh, wow. So,
I'll have to put that on my watch list.
It had something.
You and Sheridan Smith, both sort of actors that you know are going to be good in anything.
Yeah, I mean, they often play downtrodden working class people, you know, and they do it very well. So, but I'd love to see Michael Soka being extended. Like, I just think he's probably an amazing, he's got more to him, you know. But anyway, worth the watch. And then the Kylie documentary I just watched on Netflix. For any Kylie fans, a must watch. For anyone who's not a Kylie fan, I would also say a very nice watch. I watched a couple of the episodes with my mom, actually, who's in her late 70s, and she enjoyed it. And I watched the last episode with my husband, and he enjoyed it. And my God, Kylie, like, you kind of have a, you know, Kylie, pop princess, you know, had cancer, has had bad luck and love. But my God, you know, it just goes into how much hurt and pain and everything she's had over the years, and battles she's fought with her work, her health, you know, in her personal life, like fertility, all those things, and really, like, truly an inspiration. And I was like, well, if Kylie's touring, I'm going to go and see her after this, because I just thought there was way more to her than I previously thought, you know. And there were some really excellent interviews as well. So it starts off with Jason Donovan, as you might expect. But he's very candid and honest in it, you know. And then people like Nick Cave from Nick Cave and Bad Seeds, they were really good pals, actually, and he helped her a lot to kind of understand who she was, and you let her embrace that and all that. And obviously there's a bit of focus on Michael Hutchins and her relationship with him. Her sister Danny Minogue is interviewed in it a lot as well. And but the best thing about it is, you can tell it took ages to make. I think it was filmed over 2 years. You can see that Kylie comes to the really sad, hard things to talk about naturally. It's not like she's sat down and she's asked a question about it. Like, she's sat down and she's given boxes of memories and different points, and then we see her with her family, and we see like at least 4 or 5 different interviews with her modern day for the documentary. And you can see the moment where she starts talking about her cancer diagnosis, and where she starts talking about Michael Hutchison's death and stuff like that, you know, that she came to, she wasn't forced to talk about it. And it makes it just very natural, very insightful, very raw. So yes, you will need the hankies for this. It's quite sad at points. So hard recommend for Kylie, Netflix. And then the final thing to mention is Tiptoe, but we're going to talk about that a bit later because everybody should be watching it. Yeah. Okay. Right. So
obviously, Kelly, it would not be summer without festival season, and we don't have Glastonbury to enjoy this year. So what can we expect to watch from festival coverage this year?
Funny you should ask, Matt. So yes, there's so much coming up. I was thinking about this because normally I'd be trotting off to Glastonbury this time of year, but no, it's not on. So Transmit will be coming from Glasgow between the 19th and the 21st of June, and that's like lots of coverage, and there'll be people like Richard Ashcroft, Kasabian, Nile Rodgers and Chic, Lewis Capaldi, Wolf Alice, Seamat and more. Now, Sky Arts actually have the rights for the Isle of Wight Festival this year, and that's on later in June, and they have some brilliant events happening there as well. Lewis Capaldi's there too, Calvin Harris, The Cure, and the theme is the galactic glamour and space oddities. So you can just imagine the kind of sights you're going to see from that. We also have Reading in Leeds. We also have Reading in Leeds in August. Very solid lineup. Bieber covering that too. And then in September you'll have Radio 2 in the Park from Stirling, woohoo, which is like 20 minutes down the road from me. Hoping to be there. And you know, the lineup hasn't been announced yet, but you'll have all the Radio 2 DJs, and I have it on good authority that there will be a distinct Scottish flavour to the lineup this year. And but in case that isn't all enough, there will actually be plenty of classic Glasgow sets being aired around the time it is normally on anyway, despite a fallow year. So you can just sit down, open a can of cider and watch sets from previous years, including Kylie potentially. You can see some of her set on the Kylie documentary when she eventually played Glasgow after having to cancel it, having been diagnosed with cancer 20-ish years ago. There you go.
There you go. That's so much to look forward to. Yeah. You don't even have to go into a tent. So you don't
well, you can if you want. You can take your TV with you, but I would recommend the living room. Okay, so now we're going to talk about that thing that happens sometimes where there's a new show coming out, there's something you really want to watch, and it's only available on one streaming service. I need you to tell me, Matt, is it worth subscribing to a streaming service for one show?
I think it is sometimes. It's like, obviously, like I tend to rotate through the streaming stuff. Like I keep Netflix basically all the time.
Yes.
It's just sort of inertia, I guess. But there's always stuff on Netflix, isn't there?
Netflix, you'll always find something like it. They have the best curation of all the streaming services, I think.
You know, so the others I kind of like go through spells where, okay, I'm watching certain things, I'll have this. Because there was a period where I was like, wait, I'm spending like a week's groceries a month on all these different streaming services, and there's only so much time in a day. Yeah. So I, rotate through.
You're not expensing them to work, Matt. You should have been expensing them.
I should have been. I should have thought of that. So I dropped Apple TV after Pluribus ended just because I'd watched everything that I wanted to watch. And I was like, I'll get it back when Severance season 3 eventually arrives in 2039 or whatever. It comes out in. But I kept seeing stuff for this show, Widow's Bay, and I was like, this sounds like my complete vibe. Like it sounds all stuff I love, like horror, comedy, kind of Stephen King-y vibes. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not. I'm wait. I'll catch up. It'll still be there. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
And then I just kept seeing it, and there was this clip of Matthew Rhys is in it, and he's playing this sort of hapless mayor that's trying to get this island off the coast of New England that's like definitely cursed. Like there's no like
no doubt.
It's no doubt about it. It is cursed. There's like weird stuff there, and he's trying to turn it into a tourism destination.
Yeah.
And the first episode's all about someone from the New York Times coming and they try to do an interview and, show off the island. But there was this little gif of him and he's on a boat and he just does this little like, whoop, dive off, and it's just, I just kept seeing it. I was like, oh God, they've got me. They've got me.
Do you know what keeps coming into my head as you're talking there? Jaws.
Yeah, it's very Jaws-esque. Like,
the little island town and
the sea and
like amity,
something in the water, and it's like that. It's a bit like Midnight Mass, if you remember, from Netflix from a few years ago. Obviously different because this is like funny. I think the creator of it was on Parks and like one of the people who wrote a lot of Parks and Rec.
Okay, right. Yeah.
If anyone remembers from Twitter, there was a post from 10 years ago now where someone was like, oh, I went to a friend's Halloween party and I was the only one that was dressed up and she's dressed up as the Babadook and everyone else is just like in normal clothes and they're just like sort of sat as the Babadook and everyone else is like, just in normal, hilarious. Like not dressed up at all. And that's the person who did that is the creator of this TV show.
That's hilarious.
He's got this really funny vibe because it's actually funny. Like, not to ruin it, there's a thing like the second episode, there's like is this hotel haunted? The mayor's going to stay there to prove that it's okay that tourists can stay there. And he goes down and there's like a selection of board games and he picks up one and it's just called Teeth. And it's just like, there's like a teeth. He opens it up and there's just a pair of pliers inside.
Oh, God.
And then there's like one that's just run and he's looking at the cards and says, don't run, run.
Oh, jeez. That sounds slightly terrifying, even though it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, there is real scares, so if you're a scaredy cat, but it's really fun. It's kind of like Scooby-Doo-ish as well.
You've sort of sold it to me in terms of like just intrigue, it's like, okay, this sounds a bit different. So
each episode's like kind of like not a monster of the week, but like it's like a different take on a different
like Scooby-Doo.
So like, it's like, there's like kind of Jawsy, the first one, then there's a episode that's a bit like a haunted house, and then there's one where there's like the sea hag is haunting people and like, sort of like It Follows kind of vibe. And then there's one that jumps into the past. So it's a bit like the Vitch and all those kind of movies. Like, so there's like a different kind of vibe each episode, which is, it's really fun. Like,
keeps it ticking over.
I think there's 7 episodes out now, I think, and I think this would be like 10 in total. It usually is on American shows now.
So you ended up coughing up for it anyway. You had to get it.
It was worth it. Like, and now I've watched that show with John Hamm that was really fun. Like that I wouldn't have watched. There's a few other things I want to watch. Is it Shrinking, the one? It's got Harrison Ford in.
Like, that's been going for quite a while, hasn't it? Yeah, there's a good bit out there.
Yeah, I swear. And then obviously Slow Horses will be back because Slow Horses.
Is there a new Slow Horses series coming?
I think this year, Like I think season 6 comes out this year, and they've already filmed season 7. So like they rattle through that. Like they actually make that TV show like a TV show. It comes out every year. Yeah.
So Ted Lasso and The Morning Show, they're 2 good Apple series as well. So they're worth coughing up for, I would say.
I think actually the first time I got Apple TV was for Ted Lasso. It was pandemic time where they were offering it for like basically free. I think I got a new iPhone and I just got it free. So nice. I mean, it wasn't really coughing up for it, but it was like, oh, Ted Lasso, this is perfect.
So I feel like I'm the same as you. Like, I don't think I've ever actually bought a streaming service for one show.
No.
But I feel like, if the draw was strong enough, I probably would. But I tend to just like wait until it appears somewhere else. The classic was we watched Yellow Jackets on Paramount, and then it moved, and then I was like, oh no, or did it move to Paramount? Anyway, I saw the
Paramount,
So I saw the first series, and then once I saw the second series, and it moved to Paramount, I was like, I'm not paying for Paramount, right? No way. And I still have not watched the second series. I'm still waiting because it came to. Yeah, it came to ITV or something.
Originally or something.
Yeah.
It came to ITV, yeah.
I was like, it'll come eventually. I'm being stubborn about it. But I think for the right thing, yeah, definitely you should. But Matt, what TV shows are worth buying a streaming service for?
Well, Orange is the New Black is the show that made me get Netflix like all those years ago.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of people
that was
I'd
the one
say.
I originally subscribed for back when like Netflix's catalogue was like Jaws 4 and it felt like it was the strangest sort of bag of things. But that's the show that got me to subscribe to Netflix, and I don't think I've ever
look back.
So,
and they've had lots of your dollars since. I would say the kind of, you know, prestige series, so like Sopranos, The Wire, if you've not seen any of them, I would definitely fork out to get wherever they are, because they're just so good. Do you know what I mean? And if you really commit yourself to one of them, you could probably, I wouldn't say you do it in a month, but you do it in a couple of months. You know, you'd watch it all in a couple of months. So well worth it. I mean, God, we had the DVD box set of Sopranos in our house once upon a time. And that must have cost like, when new, that probably cost 80, 90, 100 quid, like, you know. So the streaming services are a hell of a lot cheaper than what we would have paid for DVDs back in the day. So
also,
don't...
then you have to buy a DVD case to put all your DVDs in.
Or a DVD player.
Exactly,
so we're actually getting good value, people, if you're not buying all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally today we want to talk about State of the Nation TV. In recent years, it seems we've had these huge set pieces of TV that have really dug into the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
This year we're talking about Tiptoe, the new Russell T Davies drama. He is so good at this kind of thing. Dear England, the Gareth Southgate drama. Last year it was Adolescence, and before that, Mr. Bates versus the Post Office. Tell me, what do you think about this, Matt?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it feels as if there's, at the moment, isn't it? It feels as if, I don't know, there's something that needs to be diagnosed in England. You know, there's a sort of bubbling feeling under, you know, there's a wrongness that's seeping out through TV, I guess. Like there was... Was it Deep Water last year, where it was about the water?
Yes.
The problems with all the polluted water in England, which didn't quite catch on as...
It was good though as well. Yeah, I think it was earlier this year, was it? Yeah. It was good, but it wasn't maybe as strong as Mr. Bates versus the Post Office,
But, I think Tiptoe and Dear England are a good sort of pair to have come out at the same time, because it is almost, you know, it's like looking at the same thing from two different angles. So Dear England, which was a stage play, so it was play, that won awards and stuff, and now they've turned it into a TV series, and that's got Ray Fiennes as Gareth Southgate, which
is really weird for some reason.
It's really uncanny. Like he looks uncannily like Gareth Southgate, but not enough. Like you can tell it's not. So I
thought it was a documentary. Any promo stuff I'd seen for it. So obviously I've been mistaking him for Gareth Southgate.
It's just really weird. And you know that from that, it's sort of this idea that there was, you know, a lack of unity in England, and you know, the country was divided. Obviously, 2016 Brexit, and here's this great unifying figure that brings the country together through falling in love with their football team again, and then. From the other side is Tiptoe, where it's like there is rage. Everyone is angry.
It's quite dystopian, Tiptoe, isn't it?
Yeah, like, you know, there's something wrong and festering, and it comes out through this. It's about a feud between
two neighbours. One who is a gay man who Alan Cumming plays, who is owner of a bar on Canal Street in Manchester, and then his neighbours played by David Morrissey, who is again another, like, I mean, Alan Cumming's fantastic in anything. David Morrissey's fantastic in... He's very menacing, isn't he?
Yeah. And the opening scene of that is genuinely not for the faint of heart. Like, it's a man has been lynched from a lamppost. It's so, you know, it's not hiding that this is going to be something that...
I mean...
big.
I've only watched the first episode. Have you seen... There's 2 out already.
Just the first episode. Just the first episode.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love Russell T Davies, everything he does. I mean, It's a Sin a few years back, which focused on the HIV, you know, sort of when it was first happening and the impact on the gay community. And then before that, he had a TV series called Years and Years, which I never watched when it came out at the time, but watched it years later and absolutely loved, which was very focused on, it kind of went off into the future. It was a family it focused on, but then went, you know, it was present day and all the things we're dealing with now, and then off into the future. And the immigration was a big theme in that. And Russell T Davies just has this ability to pick up on the sort of things that divide us as opposed to the stuff that brings us together. I suppose the stuff that brings us together a little bit too, but he manages to sort of, you know, sniff out the zeitgeist and sniff out what's going on and then present it to us in a very confronting way. Now, the first 20 minutes of it last night, I was like, this is a bit on the nose, isn't it? You know, I thought it was very like addressing like, you know, the trans issues and addressing, you know, what gay people have to put up with. And I just thought it was very obvious, but I think it's kind of becoming more sinister as it goes along. It was almost kind of comical after that very first horror scene. It was a little bit comical for a while. And I mean, there's a bit where a gang of them go around to a house to try and move somebody out who's getting abused by and there's a gun, the girl grabs a gun, but it's kind of hilarious and you just have to lean into it. And it just reminded me that Russell T Davies does use these tactics or these techniques where they're almost ridiculous. The thing is almost ridiculous and it makes you kind of pull back from it a bit and be like, okay, this is a story, but also, you know, it's drawing attention to those horrendous things that are happening in the world. And I'm a little bit scared to watch the rest of it. I feel like it's going to be very challenging.
What it's building up to, obviously, like they've shown it in the, like, I'm a bit scared to get to that end point, but
and again, not for the faint-hearted. There's like this scene where, let's just say, they're all online doing their individual pursuits in bed late at night, and it was like, oh my god, what are we watching here? Like, very, again, like an interesting way of just saying that we're all obsessed with our phones and ourselves, and you know, but he's very clever, and I think it's going to be really, really good, and I think it's actually going to prompt some questions, it's going to prompt some coverage, and it's going to prompt some discussions.
You know, not to get too political or whatever on this podcast, but you think that's premiered around the time where there was more violent riots in England last night. Yeah,
we're living in a very sort of
weirdly timely, which sort of I think the Dear England thing suffers from, because it's like bringing together, and it's like, but we feel pretty divided,
disjointed, and disconnected. I think that's the thing that Russell T Davies does. He draws attention to that sort of societal issues.
On the pulse.
And I think this kind of TV is brilliant, you know, like the Adolescence of last year, the Mr. Bates from the year before. It really makes people stop and go, we need to talk about this. We actually really need to talk about this stuff that this is bringing up. And they've had huge consequences, those documentaries or dramas. So look, let's hope that this maybe helps with something as well. It's heartbreaking. There was one, I don't know the name of the actor, he's really good, plays a sort of middle-aged drag performer, and his character is talking about the fact that, you know, if you asked me in 2006 what 2026 would be like, I'd say it was going to be all sunshine and light and flowers and being open and look at us, like, and that's where the name of the TV series comes from. He says, now I used to storm into a room and announce my presence, and now I tiptoe just in case. And it was like, bang, it's so sad. So watch it, people.
We'll back on the right path. Please, Russell T Davies, get us back on the right path.
I think they're releasing it 1 week at a time now, so it's going to run for a while. There's 5 episodes, so we will probably talk about it again on this podcast.
I think we'll probably have to, won't we? We can't run away from it.
No, it's confronting. It's confronting. So speaking of Gareth Southgate, what other pre-World Cup content do we need in our life, Matt?
So the BBC has a good section on iPlayer at the moment that's like, you know, building up to the World Cup. So they've collected together a lot of their documentaries and stuff. Netflix has a series called Untold, which is where they do like, it's like a series where it's like one-off documentaries about sporting things. Original version is American. They've just started a UK version, so it's Untold UK on Netflix. they've got episodes on Vinnie Jones and sort of the Wimbledon team of the 90s, the sort of the crazy men, hard men sort of thing.
Yeah.
Got Jamie Vardy for people who love Rebecca Vardy and want the law from the other side.
Love it.
Of it. And I think you can't go without, with the World Cup coming wrong, with watching the Diego Maradona documentary from 2019. I think you have to rent that now. It doesn't look like it's available on anywhere at the moment.
Okay.
But I think, it's an amazing documentary about such a unique figure in the history of football. Yeah. Iconic.
Yeah, I think that we are not going to be able to avoid football for the next 6 or 8 weeks. So I think we just need to lean into it, don't we?
It is on quite late, so it might be quite easy to...
Well, that's true, actually, but you'll never avoid the coverage of it, my God. Yeah. It's been wall to wall here in Scotland.
The soap's been moved.
Oh, yes, thank God for that. Oh. Right, well, when we'll be back the next time, I've no doubt we're going to be talking about both football and Tiptoe, but I'm sure we'll be talking about lots of other great stuff as well. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any suggestions for what TV or film we need to get into our lives, drop us a line via social media. We'd love for you to rate, review and subscribe to the podcast so we can reach as many TV lovers as possible. We'll be back soon with more Screen Babble. Ciao for now.